So they finally released us some new arcfall type of things that were a little more interesting than what we had before, kind of. These are the new Hellfire incursions, and basically what this is a hellbug incursion. So instead of all the other enemies that we're used to, we've got an incursion with hellbugs, which I know is just what we all wanted because nobody gets enough hellbugs, right? But it is what we have. So, and they also released a new minor arcfall that's grid something or another. You'll see it. I'll have that on here as well. I want to say it's grid control, but that could be horribly wrong too. But this wasn't too bad. It's just waves is the way it feels. Is 1 minute. It's just 1 minute there's a lot of enemies, next minute there's not. And as usual in Silicon Valley, there's almost nobody else doing this with me. So it seems to be about the way everything goes is in Silicon Valley. I feel like I'm completely alone, which I feel like that a lot. I mean, I don't know that it's so much that people are quit playing as it is that maybe the way they set it up to try to make stability is they made it where there was less people per shard. So that's just a guess. I mean, that's the only thing I can fathom. I do know there's less people because my friends list does not seem to be playing this game as much. And I understand right now with the rewards getting nerfed, which is also another thing they've done is, now they don't call it another reward nerf. What they're saying is we were getting too many points, I guess. So what they did is they reduced the amount of points we get and reduced the amount of points it takes to get rewards. You follow that? Okay. Well, the way I see this is playing, I'm getting less points, you know, as they said, but I'm getting less rewards. So something isn't quite working out. It's not working the way they said it was. Less rewards, less points and the same reward is kind of the way I read it, and that is not how it's turning out to be. It's less rewards to go with the less points, which is making things extremely frustrating to play because it's harder to make even the keys I used to make before they did everything. One of the things that had pulled me back, I mean, if you've ever watched my channel much, you'd know that I did leave Defiance for a good while, and went and played Grand Theft Auto. And when I came back, is when I realized that you could earn a lot of rewards. It kind of drug me back to the game. It made the game more interesting to me again. And now with this nerf, it's kind of going back to the way it was. Now you had to hustle before. You know, back like last summer before they changed everything up, you had to hustle to make your keys, but you could still make them. I could still make a tier 4 box in an hour. And now you actually have to stay and earn your points to earn those rewards, which I never had a problem with that when it was good rewards. But now I'm going to be working through this event, and I'm alone for the most part. Later on there'll be more people. I mean, I've got 1 or 2 people here now, but I'm gonna get 2 keys off of this Hellfire incursion. That's not impressive. And technically, the way I'm looking at it is that's 1 key because aren't I supposed to get 1 from the clan bonus? So the key payout is pretty horrendous at this point. I mean, no matter what I did, it just didn't seem like. I mean, no matter what I scored, it just wasn't very many keys. I played this day and made enough to get 1 tier 4 lockbox, and I was pretty disappointed with that. That was 3 hours of playing or so for 1 lockbox, and that was hustling. I mean, that was not missing a beat. So it's pretty bad right now. The reward situation is, and there's been no word on the horizon that they that they care. And I know some people don't like me probably speaking this way, and I know it's a little bit negative, but don't take it bad. I mean, I'm as big a fanboy as anybody else. I absolutely love this game, and that probably is one of the reasons why I'm a little bit protective and do some of the complaining I do. Is I don't want them to make it to where I don't want to play the game anymore, because that would be awful to me, because I want to continue to play this game, and sometimes it just kind of feels like you're being pushed away from the game. Maybe if you came in and didn't know any better, that might make it a little bit different, but I mean, for those of us who've been around, yeah, my salute. If you didn't know better, it might be different, but some of us do know better. We know how it was, and we know how it was before that, and how it was before that. So when you're changing things, it makes a difference. And sometimes you just put up with things, and you just let it roll. I put up with the threat level stuff. That did make me leave. I had friends leave because of that. They just ruined the game for them. The threat level was, it kind of sucks the fun out a little bit. Not at large events with a lot of people. I mean, yes, I mean, we need that threat level so the enemies just don't disappear as soon as they're there. But in the open world event, and I mean, in just the open world, you know, whenever I go to, I've already stopped doing my reputation runs. The threat level just destroyed it. I can't handle doing it. I can't even tell you the last time I did one of the harder co-op maps, because it's not that much fun. It's just, it's tedious and it's chore-like. I mean, I'm already sick of doing co-op maps. I've seen the same co-op maps a ridiculous amount of times, so I just can't bear to do them anymore. It's boring is not the word for it. So it's like I said, it feels like they're pushing for the new people, because the new people really and truly aren't going to know any different. So to them, this is all going to be just fine. There's not going to be any issues. It's going to be normal for them. But those of us who knew how good it was back in the golden age of Defiance, we know that it was better than this, and they've definitely made it a chase. I mean, there's not much I really need or want in this game for the most part. Technically, I mean, I've been around a long time. I've accumulated weapons I use in the shield, so I'm pretty set with everything. I'm going to say for newer people coming in, this is definitely a long chase. It's going to be a really long chase. Though I don't even see how, at this point, the way things are now, I don't see how you're keeping your equipment up, and I'm very glad that I am not in that situation, and I feel sorry for the people who are having to figure it out and work it out, or having to turn to the store to buy Arcforge because they have specific weapons. Now, I would be very picky, beyond picky at this point as to what I was leveling up with my person. It would have to be some pretty incredible gear for me to do that, and well, I really do. My sympathies go out to the people who have to struggle to figure out how they're going to make their ends meet in the end to get their gear to where they need it to be, because I mean, you can't let a gun fall 1,000 ego below you, because it's pretty much worthless. You can pick up a white that's going to be better off the ground. So, but that we can stop talking about the nerfs a little bit, because that's just kind of a downer. And I'm not trying to be a downer. This is mainly supposed to be, you know, look at these new events, ooh ah. but they had to throw in more than the new events. They had to throw in the extra little nerf. Even though they didn't call it a nerf, it was a nerf to go with it. So, and there's more and more music popping up. I'm gonna say there's some people who have been making some music videos for Defiance, and I've really enjoyed those things. Those things are a lot of fun that they're doing. That would be Lucent and War Titan that I'm talking about right now. So if you haven't, you should be checking them out. I know I've linked to Lucent in one of the other ones, and War Titan has done some since then. So, and if you were looking on the forums, you'd see them on there. And yeah, I like to do this. When I'm in the middle of these, I see something, I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. Even though I said I don't do those, those are right there and easy to do. Those are not threat level dependent. So, but anyways, this thing is a little bit boring on this side. This Hellfire Incursion. It's like, no, where were the enemies and everything? We're running around just trying to find out what we're waiting for. And in the end, it's waiting on a timer. All the enemies are dead, and there's the timer, finally. I was like, wow. That took forever. And look, 2 keys. And somebody was there at one of these other ones, because it's like in 3 different spots. Somebody was here even longer than me. So look at that. No Arcforge either. But, and here you are. So it's control grid. Okay. I think I was right. I think I said control grid. And this is the miner. This was a lot more fun than the Hellfire thing was, because technically you could just realize where the bugs spawned on the Hellfire ones and just spawn kill them. Most of these events down here seem to be that way. Just you know where they're going to be and you spawn kill them. But this is a lot of fun. The grid are more fun. The grid incursion was more fun than the Hellfire. Maybe the Hellfire would have been more interesting if it wasn't Hellbugs or threat level 2, because I was by myself or with one other low ego person the whole time. But I got lucky and somebody saw this and called everybody into it. But I don't know. Hopefully they decide to do something a little bit different, because I mean there's not a lot of positives that have been rolling around lately. There's been a lot of nerfs, which is pretty much for most players is a negative. The one good thing that they have seemed to have done is the tier 4 lockboxes are they have the ability to give you a jackpot weapon, meaning that you could get 4 weapons and you could get a 5th weapon that is a legendary weapon that they have already set aside, which at the moment that I'm making this video, it is a Wildcat, and it's a damn nice Wildcat too. So if you could get one of those, which yeah, that's why I'm definitely doing it, and that's why I'm playing right now, is I would love to get my hands on that, because I have one, but it's nowhere near as nice as the one they put up, and they said it will change and everything. Now, one thing, if you didn't read your patch notes or anything, and I consider this very important, stop buying tier 2 lockboxes. They said, and it's in the patch notes, if you need to make sure you read your patch notes that they put on your screen, those are no longer going to drop legendary weapons. So there's no reason to buy them. There is no reason to buy a tier 2 lockbox whatsoever now, unless you just feel like you're wanting stem and grenade drops or something that way. Do not buy them, because if there's the whole point of the chase is to get your legendary weapons, and they just stole it from that box. So don't buy tier 2 lockboxes anymore. Save your script until your keys until you can at least buy a tier 3. And this is ending, and you'll see I'll get my 2 keys. So I am gonna go ahead and check out of here, and I will catch you guys later.